Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda, and this is the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast.
This podcast is all about taking action and creating that badass business abundance and life that you want.
Where we share stories, laughs, wins, and epic fails to show you the whole picture of the entrepreneurial journey.
It's not just unicorns and rainbows, people.
Jump on and follow us through this raw and witty roller coaster,
where we get down and dirty and go behind the scenes of life and entrepreneurship.
Get on it,
get over it,
and get after it.
Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome to the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast. We are excited to invite another guest on the show today. We have Angie Viehman. She's a seasoned certified operations expert and e-commerce business builder with over 2 decades of experience working with industry giants such as Target, Crate and Barrel, Room and Board, and Blue Dot. Angie brings a refreshing approach to the e-commerce landscape, guiding businesses to triple their revenue while abolishing overwhelm and overwork. Her passion lies in empowering women to create sustainable businesses that they love, generating wealth and balance in all aspects of their lives. Angie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am really excited to be here.
Yeah, we are excited to have you too.
And I'm ready to dive right in. So how did you get started on this enterprise?
Yeah. So you just let everybody know, I have this background working, or I guess I got my start working at Target in their buying offices. And that was like right at the start of the e-commerce, I guess, of e-commerce. So Target.com was just getting off the ground. They were just launched and just adding products to it. Nobody was buying anything off of it, right? Like it was just coming to fruition. And so from then, so I got to see e-commerce grow from the very, very beginning. And every company that I worked for from that point on, whether it was a vendor of Targets or a retailer, had some kind of e-commerce component if it wasn't 100% their focus. And so I had 20 years of experiencing that in a variety of different organizations. And then I had a bunch of girlfriends that were running businesses. We'd be on hikes talking about all the things that they were struggling with. And I'm like, I've got this operations and product development background alongside of e-commerce. And there was something about their struggles. Like they were carrying so much on their shoulders and keeping things kind of messy for themselves and ending up at this point, like this breaking point, like ready to burn out, but they had these incredible businesses. And I'm like, no. This, like, if you tried this, it would make such a huge difference. I mean, I had one girlfriend who was running a business. I think she was making $250,000 a year. I made one suggestion for her to get a bookkeeper that took care of her invoicing for her, and she jumped to $1 million the next year. Like, it's just small. So anyways, I was having all of these conversations with these women about making just these small changes to their business to be able to enjoy them again. And I couldn't stop. And so that's how that was the impetus for starting my business.
I love when people remember the leap story because a lot of people kind of block it out, I think, or blend it. And it's so beautiful to transition. It seems like, it's really birthed out of wanting your friends to succeed, like seeing the opportunity, seeing your gifts and wanting the people around you to succeed. I love that. I was thinking when you were speaking, because it's not even just like you saw the birth of e-commerce, like, and you were in the trenches with it, like all the things you must have seen and kind of experienced, and all of that you really get to bring to knowledge, especially even on the operation side, because it is this birthing part that's very different than like maintaining it, but a lot of the components are the same too. So you get to see like the systems and the structures and the fundamentals, foundations that really can make or break a company. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super awesome. And that's actually what we focus on. So I guess, why I brought up e-commerce is because, so we focus on women-owned businesses, women-run businesses. And we do that because I see e-commerce as such a way for them to grow and build like true wealth. in a monetary sense, but also in a livelihood sense. Like they can actually live their lives and not get to that place of burnout, right? And so yeah, I see e-commerce as that way for them. Most of the people that we work with they have an established business. Like they've been doing well, they're pretty successful, but they're not making the money that they want. They're probably working way more than they wanted to when they started their business. And it's been that way for some time now. So they feel a sense of pride in their business, but they're at kind of this breaking point where they're like capped out. They can only make so much. And so what we focus on is adding this as a revenue channel to what they're already doing. So kind of taking what they've already built and repurposing it, repackaging it. So you're not like letting go of all of this hard work and energy that you've put into this, but you're just adding something. And what's awesome about it, and you just touched on this, Lynn, is that they can do that without, if it's set up correctly, they can do that without adding additional time or additional resources onto their plate. So I get really nervous about using the term passive income, but it is more of a passive revenue channel than likely what they've been doing. And they can keep doing what they've been doing, but start to make more money and, start to serve a broader audience.
It's a
I'm
diverse.
glad you mentioned.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that the topic of passive income, because
Same.
so many people assume that passive income means literally
No
like,
work.
I click one button and then I'll just Netflix and chill for the rest of my life, and that's all I have to do.
Mhm.
And it really is important that you set up those systems, because it's the systems that make your life easier and make it seem passive, even if there is something that you had to work on to set up in the beginning. Because even things that might be easy or simple, I should say, are not easy, because getting that to the point where you have what's considered more passive income from, let's call it the TikTok generation.
Yeah.
You need systems to set that up. You need to work to get to a place where that is actually making you money in the background in a way that works with your life.
And that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Because you could have those one-offs, but that's sustainable, I think, is really important to add.
Yeah, huge. That's a huge piece of it, because a lot of what I've seen, and you guys have probably seen this too with the people that you're working with, that we build these businesses. And I think this kind of ties back to, the conversations I was having with my girlfriends, is that you build these businesses. Again, it's an awesome idea. People are super into it, but you build it in a way, and I feel like women struggle with this the most. You build it in a way in which you are breaking your back to do it. And you kind of are okay with that over and over and over again. And so that's what, I think that passive. So to me, just like you were saying, that the passiveness is just kind of eliminating that backbreaking part, but you still have to invest in it. You still have to put it out and share it with the world, but you don't have to grind it out to be able to provide that service or to deliver that service.
Yeah, you don't have to, you still have to put in the action. I keep hearing, and I love this term, diversification of income streams. Essentially what you're doing is teaching them to diversify their income streams and set up an automated way to be able to make money in the background with once the work is done. It still takes action, but it's not an everyday, like I have to be in the mess all the time kind of action. I love that. It's just like, I love diversification of income streams. The more diverse,
absolutely.
the more better. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of multiple streams of income, because you do need different types of income coming in for different reasons and in different seasons in different ways. So I think, I talk about this all the time about how COVID changed things. We all know that it did. However, I think understanding the importance of diversifying your workload and finding these passive income streams and really exploring other things like e-commerce can really help bridge that gap when stuff happens that you're not expecting. So it's so important to build those, we'll call them passive income streams, but they're diversified income streams.
Yeah, diversified is much better. That feels better.
It does.
Yeah.
I love that. So take us through like a process. So that way, because we love to give our audience practical information, but when we can kind of live through the high level points, because I know there's a lot more that goes in, but kind of like when you're taking on a new client, you're looking at everything, where are some points that people need to look at to get away from breaking their back and hopefully developing a more diverse income stream, profitability kind of margins and systems?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, that's an amazing way to ask that question, because it really does it really does capture the holistic view that you have to take of all of these things, right? Like, you can set up everything, you can use all of these plugins or apps or whatever in your thing to do everything for you, but at some point you might be taking away a significant part of your margin, which, we want to be cautious of, because that's amazing. If you build this site, you're making more money, but if you're not actually profiting any more than you were before this, then what's the point? But yeah, so I think some of the areas that we look at, first and foremost, like, we don't necessarily recommend that people create new products or new things in order to move online. Just, we really try to focus on finding things that they're already using in their business, or things that really complement their business really well. Like, for example, we had a coach that we worked with. So she was, I would say, in the health and wellness space. And so she was working with people in a group setting, but then also one-on-one, and, doing things like encouraging them to drink water, encouraging them to take a walk every day, exercise, eat healthy, journal, all of these types of things. And so she didn't have these products yet, but what we were able to do for her is to take these, she was also an artist. And so she had all of these kind of inspirational art pieces that she would work into her program materials. And so we took those artwork, or those pieces of art, and put them on water bottles, put them on journals, put them on t-shirts and hats, so that, when they're walking outside in the cold, they've got all of the gear that they're going to buy from somewhere else. So why not complement what she's already, complement what the service that she's already offering them, or the thing that she's already offering them. And so I think, use it. So that's where it starts, where you don't have to do something entirely new. Just take what you've already got and try to rethink it in an online space. And then as you go, as we go along the process, we kind of look at and ask our clients to look at, where does it feel like this, where does it, like, where is your joy getting sucked? Like, on a daily basis, what are the things that you're doing that you're just like, absolutely not? Or it should be the first thing that you do, but it's the last thing that you end up doing, and you just are kind of miserable the entire time that you're doing it. And, it's 2023, I think 2024 when this goes out, but, we are lucky to have a lot of tools and resources that are cheap and easy to implement, that can do a lot of the kind of mundane, repetitive tasks that require either you to do, or, somebody on your team. All of those things can take the place of it. So, my comment before about being cautious about digging into your margin, building out these big old systems, it's not even really that much of a conversation now, because there are so many tools that we can use, and they are, they're way more reasonable than they were, back in 2010.
Absolutely. I love so many points about that. I think a lot of people, just to touch on that last point, like, so many people, even in their current business dynamic, they're working, but they're not making profit. Like, and because they don't look at their numbers, or because of lots of other things, they're unaware. And I know Amanda and I have had this conversation many times, where we bring on clients that on paper look like they're doing really well. But when we start to kind of like decipher and kind of shuffle through, we see like their profit margin margins aren't even like industry standard, let alone like poverty standard. Like it's insane. I absolutely, I love that point. I think it's really important. And I love that you take people through, because there is so much that you can offer, or like so many apps that you can do and so many things. And I think it's really important to find the one that's going to help you, and like don't get distracted. So it sounds like that's what you help your clients absolutely do. And then the last point that I loved is you took what they already had and you amplified it. You're actually and what you're doing there, and I don't know if everybody's catching this, is not only are you giving them another income stream, right? Another product, income stream, but you're also amplifying their brand and image. You're depositing into the business that they already have. So it's like, and I was just having this, I just did a talk the other day, and it's like two birds, one stone. So you're increasing the momentum, which can increase more profitability for this particular asset of the business, or this profit stream of the business. And then you have the additional profit stream. Love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing to see it unfold. And, the piece that we don't provide that is always important is the marketing, right? Like, and this kind of goes back to the conversation we were having about passive income. Is marketing is a lot of work, but if you're amplifying something that you've already built, it is a lot easier. It's not like you're going out and starting from scratch from that standpoint. You're not finding a whole new, maybe you are, but you don't have to find a whole new group of people to market to, and a whole new way to talk about it and all of those types of things. So you're really, in a lot of, this isn't every person that we work with, but in a lot of cases, you're taking the initial investment that somebody is making in them and their brand, and you're amplifying it. You're increasing the amount that person is investing into your business. And it's awesome, because it gets them more jazzed, and you're spreading the message even further. So it's easier and easier to draw new people in as well.
Absolutely. I love that. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of really using what you have. Like, it doesn't have to be reinventing the wheel every single time you want to start a revenue stream. It doesn't have to be, I need a whole new market and an entirely new Instagram page and a new product. And I think a lot of people get stuck when they're trying to create more revenue by thinking they need to start another business. Some of us just start businesses because we love it, but you don't have to start a business that's completely opposite of what you're doing. You can amplify what you already have and strategically use what you are doing in another way that will build that wealth and build that brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And if I can add to that, it is also doubling down on your energy, because you're not, and Amanda and I had this conversation several times, not just about our clients, but doubling down like on what we already have. So energetically and mentally, because you're not creating a whole new business or whatever, like you're actually able to funnel that. You get compounded interest essentially. On effort. And it's so beautiful to see. And I love what you said too, and I know I mentioned this earlier, but like another point too, like you take what they already have and you look for products in there, is that, it's almost like we live in such a world of consumerism. And so we are like, next. And there's so much to be said. And like I said, Amanda and I talk a lot about like the utilizing your network and different things like that. Like we tend to not really like offer what we can to the people who are target audience and the people who are our followers, and they want more. And if they want more and we're not giving it, we're just creating another product, we're actually having to kind of resell them on something new or find a new audience. And it's just all moving it in the right direction. And you're compounding your interest, you're increasing your time worth value, which enables you to be able to make the right moves to be able to have bigger profit margins.
Yeah. Yeah. That's huge. That's amazing.
I love it. So what do you love most about what you do and why?
I mean, I love the clients that I work with. I love working just, again, I work just primarily with women-owned businesses, and it's awesome. And it's awesome to see the transformation that it creates in their life. Because again, most of them are coming to us, they're at a breaking point. They're like, do I keep going or do I throw in the towel? Should I start applying for jobs tomorrow? And so to be able to see them reinvest in their business, to see their business pay them back handsomely, and to see all of that, everything that creates in their life, kind of that ripple effect. I think I don't know any of the stats, but specifically, but women do really incredible things when they have money. They reinvest in their communities. They hire, amazing teams. There's like this beautiful circle that starts to, a beautiful and full circle that starts to unravel when somebody can take advantage of this.
That's a pretty good reason to love your job.
Yeah, makes me very happy.
So if you could leave the audience with one last thing to think about when they are diversifying their business or how they can reach out to their people, what would you say?
To keep with the conversation that we've been having is just take care of yourself and take care of your team. So, eliminate as much messiness as you can. It has to be there at the beginning. We've all got stuff to figure out, and, you have to feel around for what fits. And at a certain point, you deserve and your team deserves to clean that all up. When you start to get confident about what works, it's time to tend and take care of yourself. And that's going to lead to the sustainability of your business. That's going to lead to space for you to think big and to look at what's coming, what could be next. Not that has to be something entirely different, but we're always shifting and changing within our businesses. And if we don't have the headspace to do that, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be good.
Not at all. And you have a freebie for our audience.
Yeah, I mean, so my freebie is if you are curious about this and also aren't quite sure what it could look like for your business, or you want to know more, I would love to jump on a call with you and talk about what that could look like. If you are also interested, there is on my website, there is a training or like a workshop, I guess, a video workshop that talks about how you can apply this more specifically to any business. So whether it's a service-based business or I don't know, a brick and mortar business, how you can take this, it walks through some steps to kind of draw out some of the products that you potentially are sitting on right now. And that's on my website as well. You can visit clutchbusinesses.com and it's /start here.
Love it. And everything will be in the show notes. And what's the best way that people can get a hold of you besides on your website?
Yeah, LinkedIn is where I've kind of been living and breathing lately. So just look up Angie Viehman on LinkedIn, and I would love to chat and connect.
Thank you so much, Angie, for being on our show. We loved it and learned a lot and can't wait to implement some of the things that you said today.
Thank you. Yeah, this was awesome. Such a great conversation, and thank you for having me.
Awesome, everybody. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share our podcast with those that are really wanting to take their business to the next level, live in the world of badassery, and especially those women who are on the verge of burnout or already there. Some of us are there on a daily basis at times that need a little bit of inspiration, because Angie was full of it today. So make sure you like, comment, share with those that you feel like this would really help empower. And until next time,
get after it.
All right, everyone, it's not enough to just listen.
Now you've got to put it into action.
We are so excited to see what you do next.
If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes.
And to find out more about what we're doing, visit us at thepursuitofbadasserie.com.